Hello, everyone. Well, we made it to another Wednesday, and that feels like an accomplishment this week. It has been bitterly cold here in Nebraska and really kind of all over the country right now. It has been temperatures record-breaking of how cold it's been, all the way down even into Texas. They've been dealing with colds and frigid temperatures. So making it to Wednesday, hey, we should all kind of pat ourselves on the back. And we're all a little excited because it looks like warmer temps are coming. But boy, this has not been easy. We've had blackouts here in Lincoln as they've tried to conserve energy, and there have been blackouts all the way down in Texas. I read today that some places don't have power and may not have power down there for days, and some who have power may be losing it. That's a day-altering event when you lose power in the place you're at, and it can be scary too, especially when the temperatures are as cold as they are. It can be scary when you lose the power in your spiritual life too. And maybe you felt like that here this winter or this last year. You felt like the power maybe has gone out on your spiritual life too. And that can be scary when it feels like that's happening. What do we do when we feel like we're disconnected from God, when we've lost the source of power? Because God is our only true power. I think the best thing we can do is to do the things that we originally did. Reading God's Word, singing songs about God, listening to Him, spending time in nature, as long as you don't freeze doing that. Spending time listening to God. I was doing that as I was reading this morning, and I was thinking of this text that Paul wrote. And when I think about Paul, I don't think about any power outage in his life. I think about a guy who was just on fire for God, who was always pushing forward, sharing the gospel. Even when things got bad and he gets thrown in prison, he's singing songs to God. But Paul knew what it was like to get down and to have that power outage. And he talks about it in 2 Corinthians chapter 12. He talks about praying to God about having this thorn in his flesh removed. He was really upset and worried about this physical malady he had. And he prayed about it 3 times, and 3 times God gave him an answer. In verse 9 it says, "And he said to me, My grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness." Paul says, "Therefore, most gladly I will rather boast in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest in me." See, Paul, who I picture as just the amazing Christian and follower of God, he knew what it was like to feel weakness. He knew what it was like to feel powerless, to feel like the power was out. And when he felt like that, he prayed, and he asked for God to help him. I don't know what you need help with today. Maybe it's physical pain. Maybe it's emotional stress. Maybe you just feel like the power is out. Pray like Paul did. And then listen for the answer. And maybe the answer won't come like you're expecting. Maybe it'll be God saying, "Look, my grace is enough." Because when you feel weak, God says that's when you're truly going to tap in to the power of God. And you'll see Him working in your life. So I just want to encourage you on this middle of the week. You made it this far. God is going to get you through the rest of it. Find the ways that work for you to get plugged back in to the power, because God's power never gets blacked out. It's always there. We just sometimes unplug from it. So find those ways that you can get plugged back in. A few ways you can do that here in Lincoln, here at Piedmont Park. Tonight we've got our prayer call that's going to be happening again at 6:30. We have Pathfinders happening here in the building at 6:30, and I'm very excited because tonight we're starting up our Adventure Club again. It's been a while since we've done that, and I'm excited that the leaders are going to get that going. That's starting tonight at 6:30. Even if you haven't registered, come tonight and you can be a part of that, and that's going to be great. Other things happening this coming Friday night. We've got a youth gathering that's going to be taking place here at the church. What time is that? That's going to be at 6:30, yes. I had to remember that. 6:30, the youth are going to be gathering. And then, of course, our weekend things. We've got church and Sabbath school happening Saturday morning at 9:30 and 11, both here in the building and online as well. So there's a lot of ways that you can plug in, you can connect, but I encourage you to find your way to connect with God, to connect with others too. Sometimes that's one of the ways that we lose that power, is we're not connected with other people, and that's harder to do these days. So let's find those ways to reconnect, to get that power that we need in our life, to press on, and then maybe even to share that power with someone else whose power has gone out. God bless you, my friends. Have a great week. Stay connected. Get that power from the Lord, and we'll talk to you soon.